Good afternoon. Welcome to Current Affairs. So today would like to let me discuss with you with a concept called, the corruption. Some people will say that corruption is a universal phenomenon. So that may be right. So because when we come to India, so we talk so much about the corruption. But it is not just in India. In various countries in the world, there is a concept called is corruption. But what exactly is the corruption basically? So whenever we speak about the corruption, this is nothing but the using the power for personal gains or the private gains. So for personal benefits or the private gains, if the power is misused or abused, that is considered to be the corruption. That's the reason why corruption need not be always in cash. It may be in kind. So that is the reason why various countries in the world, including India, so we have passed various legislations to counter this corruption. But so there is so much of corruption that is prevalent in India, and there is so much of corruption that is prevalent in various countries across the globe, right? But if you go back to this Kautilya, you must be aware of this. This who wrote Ardhashastra. So in that, it seems that he was talking about he was mentioning about the corruption which was prevalent during that time also. And a wonderful statement was made by Kautilya during that time in Ardhashastra, said that if a drop of honey is kept on the tip of the tongue of a person, it is very difficult for that person not to taste honey. If you keep a drop of a honey on the tip of the tongue of a person, it is very difficult for that person not to taste the honey. In the similar manner, for every public servant or for every government officer, it is impossible not to be corrupt. It is impossible or very difficult not to be corrupt. So meaning, so he was mentioning, this corruption that was very much prevalent during those days. Clear. And of course, this even during the medieval India, even during this modern India, right? So the corruption is very much present. Meaning, this corruption was existing since the ancient times. So, but as long as the corruption is present, it will have lots of this ill effects on the entire society. Some people may get benefited. Clear. So the welfare schemes that are being meant for certain people, the benefits of these welfare schemes will not reach to the concerned people, but the administrators or the politicians, they will gain the benefits. Like this, even today also you must be aware, wherever you go, without bribe, without corruption, the things will not happen. And this corruption is of various categories, I'll tell you now. But why I'm talking to you is that, so we have an institution called Transparency International. So that institution is located in Berlin. And for quite some time, it has been working on the corruption levels that are existing in various countries. And the latest information, it said that in the Asia Pacific region, the highest corruption is also present in, the India. So that is a matter of very, very serious concern. Clear, various parameters have been taken into account, right? But with respect to the corruption perception index that was released last year, that is in the year 2016, every year by taking certain parameters, it will give the list. Clear. I'll show you that list. Which country is at the top position. That is Denmark, I'll tell you. And India has been put at the position of this 79. So meaning, as the rank is increasing, the corruption levels are also increasing. And at the highest level, you have a country called Somalia, meaning in that country there is too much of corruption. Clear. So, but before that one, I would like to say something with respect to corruption. This corruption can be divided into grand corruption, petty corruption, and political corruption. Grand corruption, it will happen now and then, but the amount of the money that is involved in that one is a very, very huge. Clear. The bigger scams, what you look at, so they will be coming under the grand corruption. Petty corruption is a corruption that happens on day-to-day basis. Clear. So that happens at the lower level, that happens at the middle level of the administration. So that is called the petty, this is corruption. And another category that is called the political corruption. And whenever the politicians are involved in the corruption, so that is called the political corruption. For example, you see, government. So maybe the political party that is there in the power, it will try to establish one big institution at a particular place, or it wants to establish a very big project at a particular place, but the decision has to be taken by the government. The people who are present in the higher level in the political system, they will take the decision to establish the industry at a particular place. Obviously, what will happen whenever you establish an industry, infrastructure will be developed over a period of time. But immediately after that, what will happen, the rates of the lands will also increase like anything. That will be zooming like anything. Clear, with the rocket speed, the prices of the land will also increase. And this is a common fact, everybody knows it. So during that time, what will happen, before the government announces that in certain place, the project is going to be launched, the people who are at the higher level, they will try to purchase the land in those areas on Binami names, because they are very much sure that the land price is going to be increased, and they are purchasing the land at the very, very cheaper rates. And the people who are present over there, they are not aware of this one. So some money, some extra money, they are getting it, and they will sell it out. And after a period of time, once the government announces that in a particular place, a project is going to be launched, so immediately what will happen, the prices of the land will increase, and the people who purchased at the lower level, lower rates, so they will be increasing the prices and selling at the very, very high rates. So with a little investment, they are making such huge amount of money. Ultimately, the actual owners of the land, they are deprived of all these benefits, and that is called the political corruption. Clear? That is the reason why, with respect to especially in the civil service examination, or whenever you go to interview, the civil interview, these are the very, very possible questions with respect to the corruption, right? So now I'll show you the document. And sometimes these administrators are suspended, these politicians, they had to quit. Look at this. So whenever we say corruption, this is the abuse of entrusted power, the abuse of entrusted power for private gain. This is called corruption. Grand corruption, it consists of acts committed at a high level of government that distort policies or the central functioning of the state, enabling the leaders to benefit at the expense of the public good. Petty corruption refers to the everyday abuse of entrusted power by low and middle level public officials in their interactions with the ordinary citizens, right? So you go to this one office, you want your file to be cleared at a particular place, so you'll be paying the bribe. These are all called the petty corruptions. These are all happening with the interaction of the ordinary citizens, who often are trying to access basic goods or services in places like hospitals, schools, police departments, and other agencies. And you may watch all these type of corruptions practically, and you may also encounter this one in your day-to-day life. Similarly, we have another category that is called the political corruption. So this is a manipulation of the policies, institutions, and the rules of procedure in the allocation of the resources and financing by political decision makers who abuse their position to sustain their power, status, and wealth. Am I clear? Now, so this is what I was talking about, corruption perception index of 2016. It's a possible question in any examination. And these are the figures that are related to the year 2016. And for the year 2017, it is going to be released later. Kindly look at this. So this is the ranking that is given by Transparency International. So this is a non-governmental organization that is located in Berlin, that is Germany. And at number 1 position, you have Denmark, So with the 90, these points, rank should be lower and points should be higher. Lower the rank, lower the corruption, right? Higher the points, lower the corruption. Am I clear? Number one indicates rank. At number one position, you have Denmark with a 90 points. At number two position, you have New Zealand with a 90 points, meaning these are the nations with very, very low levels of corruption. At number three position, you have Finland, and it got points 89. United States of America has been ranked at 18th position with 74, points. Now, have a look at this. India. India has been ranked at 79th position, and look at the number of points, please. 40. Kindly look at this. Denmark has been ranked at the first position. India has been ranked at the 79th position. Obviously, what is this indicating? There is a huge gap between Denmark and India. Am I clear? And the corruption levels are very huge in India when compared to Denmark. And look at the number of points for Denmark, 90. And with respect to India, number of points, 40. Okay. And I want you to remember rank. Is that clear? And China has been ranked at the 40th position. Pakistan, 116th rank. Look at the points, please. 32 points. What about Somalia? Somalia has been ranked at the last position, right? 176th position. And how many points have been allocated? Look at this, 10. Higher the rank, higher the corruption. Lower the points, higher the corruption. So kindly remember this. Am I clear? Next. So I have a question with this, with me. 1 second. This, okay. So when it comes to this technology, this is really this helping the whole system a lot. It is not just easing in the transactions. That the time consumption is also very low, and the people are happy, right? So by using this technology, and the banks are also this performing their operations successfully, so with minimum this issues. And so there are various technologies that are coming up, so we were discussing time and again, so with respect to all this. So but this is the latest one, and this is the first bank that has adopted a concept called software robots. Look at this. Which of the following is the first bank in India to use software robots? Kindly remember, in future other banks may use, but our interest is the first bank, because it may be a possible question in any forthcoming examination, right? Kindly remember this one. Look at the options: HDFC, Axis Bank, SBI, or ICICI. Answer is option D, ICICI. Am I clear? Right. See, similar type of this technology was announced by HDFC, but otherwise first it is implemented by ICICI, and the management of ICICI has been announced that 10% of their total workload has been entrusted to this, and in future this is going to be 20% very soon. Clear? And at the same time, the employees they have a fear. So they have a fear because you are employing this robots here, software robots. So obviously there is a fear that there may be retrenchment of the employees, but the management has assured that nothing is going to happen like that. As the number of customers are increasing, the number of services will also increase. That is the reason why. So there may be a necessity of more employees for ICICI. So there will not be any possibility of retrenchment of the employees according to the management. Am I clear? But for the examination point of view, please remember. So the bank is ICICI. Right. Okay, so this is D. Have a look at the question. First bank in India to use software robots, ICICI. So another fantastic one. Have a look at this. Which of the following countries to host world's first zero emission passenger train? Really, really, really wonderful, So nowadays, if you look at, these diesel engines and all these things, so, they emit lots of pollution. They emit the lots of pollution. But here in this particular concept, first zero emission, so this pollution will be emitted in the form of the water vapor, and which is considered to be very, very safe. Clear? And obviously, pollution levels are increasing across, and these are the methods that are being adopted by certain countries, and where you are going to launch these passenger trains with zero emissions. Clearly, this is a wonderful thing. So once it is, this is started functioning successfully, this may be adopted in various other countries, and that will be reducing, this pollution to a considerable level. But the question for the examination is that which is the country? Is it Japan, France, Germany, or England? Answer is C, Germany. Okay, look at the question, please, once again. Okay, right. So I'll stop at this stage, and I'll see you tomorrow. So with the more current affairs. Till then, I wish you all a very, very, very good luck, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. So thank you so much.